You can open this week, Ian. I don't want to open every week.
Okay. So we're back in the classroom. We're still here.
We are still
Uh,
here.
they
Well, we
won't
left,
let us
and then
out.
we did escape, and then they put us back in.
Yeah, we have been trapped in this classroom
We did
with
that thing.
naught but a
We took all
laptop.
we took all the sheets that we could find and like the clothing that we could find and just kind of tied it into a rope and snuck out the window.
It worked for a little bit, but then the gym teacher was right outside running drills, so he sent us back.
And we're like, who does drills at night?
The fucking gym teacher.
Anyway, this is the protagonist seat. I'm Alex.
Please help me. I'm Ian. I have been trapped here for weeks now.
Yeah, he's been showering in the gym bathroom, but it's not really working anymore.
It's not great.
And that is
And
Tyler.
and I found out I'm Tyler. So
Yep, we figured it out finally. We found the documents. We went over them. We found the file.
that's my quirk. I'm Tyler.
That's his quirk.
Is Tyler.
This is the protagonist seat after class where we talk about just My Hero Academia.
And nothing else.
Nothing else. We will try to talk about nothing else. We will do our damnedest.
It's easy today because this episode was dope as shit.
Yeah, this was a really good episode. I think this was the best one thus far.
It was very good. We have left setup phase, and now we are entering shit's poppin' phase.
Full growling.
Yeah, not a lot of Deku in this episode.
Our podcast has entered full cowling.
I actually kind of feel like whenever Deku's not the main focus, it gets really good.
Yeah, I really like the side characters a lot.
Yeah.
I also really like Urushiima. Like,
could you not do that directly into the microphone, please?
Yeah, microphone etiquette. If you need to clear your throat, kind of lean away.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I thought we had.
Gomenasai.
Red Riot is one of my favorites.
Yeah, he's always been a lot of fun. And it's cool to see him kind of grow. Because he's been dealing with the feelings, because everyone's been getting a lot better, and he's like, all I do is I get hard. That's my power.
He doesn't have signature.
Most people can do that.
Yeah, and he was saying too to the other students, he doesn't have any like long ranged attacks or anything like them. No special moves.
See, I like how you said most people, and not
students.
most men.
Most men
can get hard.
You never know these days.
You got a point.
It's only him and the other guy, as far as we know. The silver guy.
Welcome back to Alex Has Totally Missed the Bit.
I am just moving past it.
You know what? You're missing some gold.
Yeah, he's in like an eagle soaring looking for meat, and he saw it. There's a rotting corpse, but he's like, nah, I want something alive.
Nah, it's not. It's low-hanging fruit.
Hey, man. Still fruit. It's not on the ground yet.
It's close.
All right. But yeah, he's been dealing. He's basically at a disadvantage because everyone has mid to long range capabilities, and he doesn't, because he can't.
But he recalls what All Might said to him: just bulldoze through everything. Just do that one thing you do, and just do it better than anyone else.
Yeah, which is some actually pretty good advice.
Because in this episode, he's going on patrol, and it turns out he's doing his work study under the hero Fat Gum.
Who is a fat guy.
Yeah, he's fat. And he's with Tamaki, which is one of the other big three of the school, one of the senpai.
The sad boy.
Yep, and we find out Tamaki's quirk is that whatever he eats, he can sort of manifest the powers of it. So if he eats like takoyaki, he can make octopus fingers. If he eats chicken, he can have little wings and chicken claws.
Do chickens have large talons?
I guess in this world, yes.
That's a Napoleon Dynamite reference for those of you playing along at home.
You can mark that on your bingo sheet.
It's right next to the free space.
If it was bingo, everyone would have different sheets.
It should always be next to the free space.
They're going on patrol, just trying to do their work study, when all of a sudden they see a bunch of gangsters, it looks like, on the run from the police. And of course, them being heroes spring into action.
And wreck their absolute shit.
Yeah, Fat Gum looks like he catches almost all of them. And then one guy looks like he can turn into like a floating piece of paper, essentially. And he's about to get away when he's caught by Tamaki.
With octopus tentacles. And then he slaps him with a clam.
And this is when they reveal what both of their quirks do. And it looks like, hey, they did everything. Everything's all great. And some guy from the crowd is like, I'm going to avenge Big Bro.
I need to get my bros out of the situation.
And he pulls out a gun. And he
See?
shoots Tamaki.
What I was asking about last week.
Yeah, the guns.
What if someone just had a gun?
And he
but
does.
It's not just a gun.
I actually thought someone was going to get dropped right there.
It's not just a gun.
It turns out he's not shooting them with a bullet. He's shooting them with like a dart.
X-Men.
Kind of. Yeah, this idea isn't like anything new, but essentially in this episode we find out there are drugs that enhance quirks, and we find out that there's a bullet being made that weakens quirks and makes them unusable for a short duration.
Yes, basically it nullifies a hero's powers, which is kind of a big deal.
Because we find out Fat Gum mentions, in an inner monologue mentions that they knew about quirks or drugs that enhance quirks because they're for people who have sort of difficulty manifesting their quirk, but he's never heard of ones that disable quirks.
We also get to see what happens when Handman meets the Plague Doctor.
Yeah, so Overhaul and Shiragaki get together, and Shiragaki agrees that the League of Villains will cooperate with the Yakuza. They won't serve under them, but they'll form like a partnership. And one of the conditions is that Overhaul has to tell them what his plan is. And it turns out Shiragaki already has one of the bullets, or the darts, and he's like, your plan involves this, doesn't it? And that's when we learn about what the effects of the bullets are.
Yeah.
And
straight from the Plague Doctor's mouth.
And then the guy with the gun ends up running away, and he gets chased down by Red Riot. And it turns out this guy's quirk is pretty crappy. He can only essentially make box cutters come out of himself.
I still think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, in his mind, he's like, that's crappy, but that's kind of useful if you were going to be like a stealth assassin.
My power sucks.
I mean, if you're going to go
as someone,
ball, it's not great, but
as someone who cannot have blades come out of his body, I think that's pretty cool. Even though it shreds the shit out of clothing.
I guess it depends. If you had them come out of your knuckles, like you would just be you would be
X-Men.
Wolverine. Yeah, you'd be Wolverine, but with shorter claws.
Actually, that would be super good in like an underground fighting ring. Just make like the little blades come out of your knuckles and just beat the shit out of someone, and then pull them back so that when the fight's over and they're like, holy crap, this dude's freaking wrecked.
Yeah, so this dude's quirk isn't that bad. He just utilizes it poorly.
See, that's one of the big themes of the show is like, hey, you could have a good quirk, but if you use it bad, then you're bad, and it sucks.
And you can have a bad quirk, but if you use it well, then it's pretty good, like Mirio.
Or best fucking genist.
Or you can cheat by using drugs. Drugs are bad.
Or you can just
kids.
cheat and use drugs.
Yeah, and we see this guy cheats and uses drugs.
Don't use drug kids. Be like Mirio, not like unnamed villain.
Actually, if Mirio used enhancement drugs, I don't even want to think about what that would do to his quirk.
I don't even know.
What about
'Cause how
if
does it?
Deku's mom got the drugs? What would happen?
She
Her,
would be able to pull large objects to her.
yeah, her thing is just like tiny telekinesis.
Then she becomes like the Dark Phoenix. X-Men.
No, I sincerely doubt that. I think she would
Taps
just be
into a
able to
power, an ancient
be,
power.
be able to pull big objects.
We find out Deku was actually has no father, and he was born from just a miracle.
It could still happen.
Mm.
Yeah, we still haven't heard anything about his dad. Well, we've heard his dad exists, but we've never seen him still. So
So they
what does he do?
say.
Is he a titan that turned into a human and laid an egg?
I have no idea what you're going on about.
Me either.
I don't think
It's kind
that's
of a mix.
X-Men lore.
No, that's not X-Men. That's Guardians. And then after I chose to lay an egg because I was thinking of Jurassic Park.
Well, I'm glad you
That's a
explained your
lot
thought
of
process.
that's a lot of very different things going on right there.
Yeah.
But yes, yes. So this guy takes the drug, and now he can, instead of only having blades the size of box cutters, can just shoot them at long range, and they're super long now, and they pop out of almost everywhere in his body, and it's really wild.
He's like that creepy guy who made his teeth into swords, except this dude makes just swords shoot out of his body.
And they're actually really sharp because of the drug, and they can actually cut through Red Riot's hardening.
Oh no.
So what does he do? He has no
He
special moves or anything.
he dies.
No, he
And that's the end of the episode.
just gets harder.
Yeah, that's basically what happens.
And he looks really cool in that form.
He does.
Yeah.
He gets like super jagged. It's
Like
very cool.
even his the iris around his eyes get jagged.
Yeah, his eyes, his teeth, his fingers turn into like these almost talon-like things.
And he essentially has the bad guy focus all his attention on him, so the civilians behind him, who he told to run, who just stand there the entire time, don't get hit.
I do like watching him be a hero because he's one of the because like everyone so far has been like, I gotta keep the people safe, but this is like kind of the first really good scenario of one of the students being like, I need to put myself in direct danger to
Yeah,
save all of these people.
we almost see a lot of them don't really, besides Deku, don't really focus on the whole hero aspect. It's more about like Todoroki, the whole thing with his dad. Bakugo just only cares about being strong, and a lot of the other people have more personal reasons, but we never really get to see them actually, really being heroic or thinking about that being the most important part.
They're a great
Yeah.
class.
Win this fight.
Didn't someone say that there's like a special group of people? Like there's because they're all thinking the same thing. Like they're all good. They all have like a big heart or something. Like they said they're a special group of students.
I don't remember anything about that.
I don't either off the top, but it feels like something that someone could have said at one point, like after the raid on the summer camp, where they were like, "You kids are pretty cool."
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
I
it's
forget.
after that.
Someone said it to Eraserhead, and I think it was like the cat paw like character, the teacher, right after. She said they're like they fought like they were heroes right away. Like it's been such a long time since.
It really has. But yeah, I think Kirishima I think he just does want to be a hero, which I think is kind of interesting because everyone has very, as you mentioned, everyone has very like personal reasons for being a hero. So it's kind of nice to see that, nah, this dude just wants to be a hero.
Yeah, it is nice.
And it was cool watching him turn into Red Riot or use his special move, a Red Riot Unbreakable. Because basically he can only do it for 30 to 40 seconds. And he does as All Might and expected him to, and he just bulldozed right through everything.
And he just punches the dude's blades and they just shatter.
It's pretty cool.
And he punches the guy out and he goes back to being a wuss.
Because someone proved to be better than him.
And then he uses the opportunity to try to escape, and Fat Gum shows up and immediately catches him.
Yep. And just like takes him down in 1 second.
And they save the day, they catch the guys, and they go back to school, where everyone then is all freaking out because they're like, whoa, Kirishima, you ended up in the news, dude.
Yeah, because basically there's a couple interesting things that happen here. One, all the people that Kirishima saved are like, you are the greatest hero of all time.
Yeah.
And we get a little flash of, I believe it's a hint where at some point he found himself in a similar situation to Deku at the beginning of the series, but he did not run to help save whoever was in danger. And it feels like that is going to come up later as something that really bothers him. And the other thing is Fat Gum actually points out something interesting. Villains have a wide variety of victory options at their disposal. They can complete whatever their objective is. They can run away. They can injure and incapacitate a hero by either killing them or injuring them to the point where they can't do anything. Whereas a hero only has one path to victory by incapacitating any villains in as peaceful a manner as possible.
Yeah, they have the harder job.
Yeah. And I think that's kind of neat.
Yeah, I love how Bakugo looks so pissed off the whole time.
Bakugo looks pissed off all the time.
Yeah, but especially now because everyone's out doing hero stuff, and since he didn't pass the license exam, he still has to just sit and listen to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good episode this week. We got a lot of focus on a really great character who hasn't really had much focus up until this point.
Yeah.
He's mostly been in the background up until now. Like he got his kind of moment to shine during the sports event arc, but even then he was overshadowed by all that stuff going on with Todoroki.
And I want more side character development.
Yes.
I want more of it. I like it. I think it's something the series does very well.
And I think that's about it for this week.
Pretty much. I'm looking forward to next week where basically everyone's going to have a big meeting about what to do with the bad guys.
Yeah, where it's like, hey, they have drugs now.
Oh, what do we do with the drugs?
Yeah, if you want to hear us talk more about My Hero Academia and drugs,
drugs are bad, kid. Don't do drugs.
follow us on or subscribe to our YouTube channel here on Facebook because that's the only one that has the My Hero stuff.
Yes, our YouTube page is only where our after class series is going to reside. So if you want any additional content or anything like that, you'll have to go to our YouTube channel,
and
which
hey,
you're probably on right now.
Yeah, because this would be the only way you'd be watching it. Also, we're on social media, Facebook and Twitter at Protagonist Seat.
Yes, we post updates to what we do, as well as updates whenever our episodes go live.
And sometimes we just post about episodes we're watching.
Yeah. And we were just at Anime New York City.
Yeah,
So we posted some updates on that.
We got some good shit coming this weekend as well.
Yes.
Well, it'll probably be out after the weekend. So next week, we're going to talk about some of the stuff we saw at that convention.
So stay tuned to our channel.
Specifically, the premieres.
We'll have some premieres. We'll maybe have some stories about cosplayers and weird things we've seen.
And we'll be talking about all the other stuff that we normally talk about. So check out our regular podcast, which is on this channel. And it's also on Libsyn, which includes iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Deezer, wherever you want to listen to a podcast.
Wherever podcasts are found.
But yeah, I am Alex.
I have been Ian.
And I am Tyler.
That's his quirk. He is Tyler.
Do you have anything you want to pimp, Tyler?
Yeah, you can pimp your stuff.
Pimp?
Yeah, it means like promote yourself, but you pimp yourself. If not, that's fine.
Nah, not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Soon, though. Soon.
Soon yet.
So we will see you next time.
That's because of his quirk.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to control his quirk yet. We need to pump him full of drugs.
Drugs.
So he can control his quirk and be Tyler better.
Yeah, he'll be Tyler better next time. See you later.
Goodbye.